It was really funny. I was walking around my building. I was losing my mind because it was my beginning of my junior year, and it had hit me. I didn't want to do what I thought I wanted to do my whole life. And it hit me that I was halfway through my college experience and I had to find something. So the building that I was in, I was walking around and I saw this poster and I was like, this woman is working with amphibians. This looks interesting. And I met her at a research conference at the school, like a little meet and greet type of thing. And then I emailed her and I was like, I kind of want to work with you. And then that's kind of how I got into research. And we did amphibian work, and a lot of that meant that we were out there at night in wetlands, kind of how it started. And then from there, I went to the lab right next door, and I started working specifically in wetlands, looking at carbon dioxide and methane emissions, or fluxes. So it was kind of like since our labs were cool, I kind of got to cross over and I got to see both. But yeah, that was kind of how I got into this. I kind of just took a risk. I knew that I wanted something different and I wanted to do something that I felt like it was important to me. And I feel like wetlands was that for me. And honestly, research in general was that for me. I'm AJ. I am a research intern at Archbold and I'm going into my master's to work with wetlands. Yes, so I'm using the highest elevation in a rosemary ball to go to the end of a wetland, and I'm going to look at that elevation gradient and see how does plant biomass in my 9 specific species of plants change over that elevation change. So this is a Garmin. This is what we use to GPS our plants. So when we go out in the field, all of our plants are already GPSed, or we have a general coordinate where most of them are. And we use this to get to wherever we want to be in the scrub or the forest, wherever we are. And this is a compass, very handy dandy. It helps with giving us direction. Let's say there's a flag and we have the coordinates, but we need to know in which direction the plant is, whether it's north, south, east, or west. This is what gives us that direction. Still be in school. I want to get my PhD. I mean, I'm already like halfway there. I'm going to get my master's, but I would hope to be still doing something that I love, hopefully working with wetlands. I would also really enjoy having a lot of science communication opportunities to like share what I do with the public, but also just like educating people on what's around them. I think a lot of what science starts with is just community level, like letting people in your community know what's there and why it's important for them to look around a little bit more and take in where they live, because that is like directly affecting them all the time, and they should take more pride, take more care of their areas. Mm-hmm. Weird. I think I always liked it. I just never was comfortable with liking it. So again, I had to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. It was something different for me. Like I didn't know anybody who was like super into hiking. I had to get into hiking myself. I didn't know anybody who really was, into environmental sciences. I kind of had to get into it myself. So if 8-year-old me saw me, she would be so confused. Like, how did you do this? How did you get here? And I could just tell her, like, you just gotta go along for the ride. So it's actually like a huge privilege to be the person that I needed to see when I was younger. And I think it just kind of motivates me to keep going and like to get more people to see me. Cause I'm like, if you can see me and you can know that this is possible, then you can go out and do it. And then you can kind of make your own path on the way like I did. I think it's mostly the kids. Yeah, when I first told them I got this job and I was telling them what I was gonna do, they were like, you can just do that? Like you can just go somewhere and live, and then you can go see them burn plants and you can go look at rare plants, Miss AJ? And I was like, yeah, you can. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah. And then you can go look at birds all day and that can be your job. And then you can also go sample soil and that can be your job. Like there's so many things that you can do in the science field. If you're interested in it, you can do it. It's just more about how hard, like how bad do you want it and what are you willing to do to like create that if it's not already there for you? And if it is, how are you gonna go about getting there?